Chapter 4, an interesting story. We're happy to be in a barn in the middle of a thunderstorm.
I know. So, in case you thought the rest of the book was boring, this one promises to be a stellar chapter with actual thought put into it. So here we go.
The storm is getting worse every minute. Oh, wait, I think that was you.
It was me, damn it. Why can't we just call her X6B7 like we agreed on? The storm is getting worse every minute, Nancy Drew's companion observed.
I saw Nancy Drew and I was like, it's going to say Nancy Drew replied. Nope.
I thought the same thing.
Nancy followed her to the barn door and looked out. The rain was now coming down in torrents. And as the girls stood in the doorway, a sudden gust of cold wind blew a sheet of water into their faces. Oh, let's get back where it's dry, Nancy laughed. This is terrible.
I was imagining them going into the barn and being like, want to go outside for 5 minutes? Oh, this is bad. Help! I'm being blown into the sky!
That was weird. Anyway.
It's getting cold too, Nancy's Drew companion announced with chattering teeth. I don't know how to actually make that. Why not come in? Why not come into the house with me? It's far more comfortable there if you can imagine. It has 2 rooms instead of 1. I think I have at least 1 cabbage inside. And unless I'm mistaken, this storm will continue for an hour or so. Everyone is guessing wrong, okay?
Storm's gonna last for like 7 years.
Meteorologists have not been invented yet, so we can't just... Actually, I think we're in for, a hurricane earthquake. What about you?
I don't like to trouble you.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Grace will never forgive me if I don't bring you inside. This feels like Psycho. Grace is an old woman that died 30 years ago that I keep in a chair. She turned to Nancy with an apologetic smile. I hope that's okay. Oh, I guess I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Allie. Allie Horner. That's interesting. Didn't expect that.
Dang. And I am Nancy Drew.
Oh, not the daughter of Carson Drew, the noted lawyer. My husband and your dad. Oh, wait, you already told me that.
Unfortunately so. Well, I guess you gave away that you knew him.
That's right. In fact, if I take off my mask, I am him. No, probably not. Not this time. Oh,
Nope.
no, but I guess everyone has heard of him. Haven't you read the papers? Serial killer caught. Serial killer escapes. Serial killer lives in house. Serial killer left alone. Serial killer has child.
I've read
Anyway.
the papers, Allie.
Allie Horny began to take off the raincoat which she wore. Oh, lucky her. Here, take this. And I'll find you a pair of rubber boots. They're in the pockets.
I don't want to take your raincoat, Nancy protested. What will you wear?
I don't know. A bear suit. Oh, I have an old coat hanging here on a nail. I'll use that. Anyway, the rain won't hurt my dress.
Under protest, with a giant sign that says no raincoats for Nancy, Nancy donned the raincoat and put on a pair of rubber boots, which were several sizes too large for her. She made such a grotesque picture that the 2 girls could not help but laugh. Then they closed the barn doors, so I guess they can run into them?
Now, let's make a dash for it. Slowly, mind you. And maybe we'll crawl. Actually, it's time for a break.
Hand in hand, they crashed into the doors they just closed. As they got up and realized that opening the door was the key to running to the house, they splashed through the mud toward the farmhouse. As they ran, a vivid flash of lightning momentarily illumined the sky and caused the girls to cringe. The rain pelted down steadily and the atmosphere was much colder than it had been 10 minutes before.
If it gets any colder, we'll have hail. Allie chattered, nan, 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 as the 2 girls reached the shelter of the porch.
Hail? Like Hail Mary?
Oh gosh, I forgot my keys in the barn.
Oh, you got to run back.
Actually, they're in Masonville.
No!
In a barn.
Dropping their muddy boots outside, Allie flung open the door and they entered a warm kitchen.
Wait, what? Who the fuck actually has a door that goes into their kitchen? What?
As the door closed behind them, an older girl who was bending over the kitchen range turned toward them in surprise.
Grace, I've brought you dinner. I mean, a visitor. Allie said quickly, Miss Drew, I want you to meet my sister. She's the mainstay of our little family.
Grace Horner cordially acknowledged the introduction and greeted Nancy with a warm smile. She was tall and slender, as was her sister, with dark hair and thoughtful brown eyes. Nancy judged that she was at least 4 years older than Allie. Her face was rather serious, and it was evident that responsibility had fallen upon her shoulders at an early age.
Oh my gosh, how could you just tell? Speaking of responsibility, it's Carson's choice of the game!
Let's go.
Okay, so, based on the limited information that you have right now, which sister do you plan on stealing the identity of so you can run away to Mexico where Carson can't catch you?
I'm gonna go with Grace.
That's a good idea. Welcome to the border of Mexico. May I take your passport? Aha, it's me, Carson! You're going back home!
No! Oops. There we go.
That's right, dun dun dun!
Hey, you win some, you lose some. Alright, well, Carson teleported Nancy back to the house, where she was at once attracted to both Grace and Allie. How queer is this fucking book? And responded to their cordial welcome. It's nice of you to take me in this way, she told them.
Yeah, this is the first time I've entered a house of my own free will. Mercy, it's a pleasure for us, Grace assured her. We don't see a girl of our own age once in a month unless we go to Masonville. And our visits there aren't very frequent, Miss Drew.
Oh, please call me by my first name. Everyone does.
Okay, Mitch. Or whatever. Greg? 7.
Bartholomew.
Nope, that's my sister's name. Oh, that's fine.
The three girls were soon laughing and talking together as though they had always been friends. Nancy knew that she was going to like the horny girls, and it was evident that they were delighted with her.
I can see where this is going. How about a pajama party? How about spin the bottle?
Presently, Grace deftly removed a cake from the oven and set it on the table to cool.
I forgot to turn the oven on, but I'm sure this cake is great as soup. Let's go to the living room, she suggested. It's actually in the kitchen. We just have to go through the fridge. My cake is done, so I don't need to watch it, unless it runs away. I'll give you a piece before you go, Nancy. And Grace's cakes are the real thing, I declare. It's not just the picture on a box like I've eaten before. I'm not much of a cook myself. I'd rather be outdoors. But you've kept me from that today, Nancy. I wanted to get hit by lightning, you know. We don't wish you any bad luck, Nancy, Grace laughed. As she led Nancy into the next room. But Allie and I don't care how long it storms. I don't know what to trust here. You could stay with us forever. Forever. Forever.
Neither do I, so long as I get home before dark, Nancy
This is your
replied.
home.
Although the living room was warm and comfortable, it was nearly bare of furniture. The floors had been painted and were scantily covered with handmade rag rugs. With the exception of an old-fashioned divan, an inexpensive table, a few straight-backed chairs, and an old wood stove which furnished heat, there was little in the room. However, dainty white curtains covered the windows, and Nancy realized that although the Horner girls were poor, they had tried hard to make their home attractive. Surely you two girls don't live here alone, do you?
Allie nodded. Oh, fair. Sorry. And by nod, I mean moved my head in several directions all at once because I am confused. Honestly, they literally have like 5 pieces of furniture. Nancy's like, gross. Poor. This is terrible. You guys are lower class. It's like, what else do you want us to have? Like a fucking disco ball?
Phonograph.
Grace and I have been living here ever since Father died. That was 2 years ago. Mother passed away just before that. Girl added with a slight catch in her voice.
How do you manage? It must be dreadfully hard for two girls to run the farm by themselves, said Nancy as she tried to figure out how old they were.
We're supposed to run the farm? Oh my gosh, that would make things easier. Our farm isn't very large now. It's literally in the kitchen. We only have a few acres. I know you wonder how we live, but are too polite to ask. Allie
No, I want to know.
Well, we essentially just put several cardboard boxes on top of each other, and we started eating each other's toes. Actually, Grace helps a dressmaker at Masonville whenever she can get work. She makes all our clothes, too, and I raise chickens.
Chickens? Nancy asked in surprise. Can you make much at that?
On Chickens OnlyFans, you can. Well, it all depends. This year, the market hasn't been so high as usual, and the price of eggs has dropped, too. Oh, you're living in the good timeline. I can't wait for the pandemic, Nancy. You won't believe what will happen during the pandemic.
The flu pandemic that we already had?
Grace is going to learn how to knit toilet paper and we'll be in business. But I enjoy the work. You know, sexing chickens and forcing them to lay eggs and then eating them when they don't obey. I don't know what I do, and I could make it pay if only I could afford to start a flock of white leghorns. Allie is a regular outdoor girl, Grace explained with a smile. We divide our work. I attend to the house, but she would rather be outside. Where the fuck is the story? This is supposed to be an interesting story.
Not very
Remember,
interesting.
everyone we loved died.
Great story.
We get along very nicely in the summer, Allie went on. We raise vegetables and have enough for our own use. We split one celery. But in the winter, it's hard. I don't know how we'll manage this year. Maybe I have an idea. We will start an oil company, and then it will be warm every year. We'll find a way, Allie, Grace told her with a brave smile. We always have. Except for our parents, who have failed. She rose from the chair and turned to Nancy. I'm sure you're not interested in our misfortunes, but I have several of the stories left. And these are all things that, actually, you rank them from best to worst in terms of things that will win me America's Got Talent. It's true that we're poor, but we can still offer our guest a cup of tea. Excuse me while I make it. Carson's choice of the game!
Yep, it's time.
So, I'm making 2 cups of tea, one of which is spit, and the other is some of that oil that we found. Which one do you want?
I'm gonna take the oil one, because then I can put it on the road to partake in the oil festival.
Lucky for you, it was olive oil, and it actually has antioxidants, so you are now eternal. You will not die.
Awesome. It was on the
Okay,
tip
take it
of
back.
Nancy's tongue to protest the olive oil, but she checked the words just in time. She knew that Allie and Grace were proud, and that to refuse their hospitality would hurt their feelings.
Can you imagine? Nancy goes, yuck, I'm going to the Hilton. Fuck you guys.
What about the storm?
I want a massage.
I wish I could help them, Nancy thought, but if I offer to pay for the tea, they'll be offended. Perhaps later on I can engage Grace to make a dress for me, or hide this $10,000 in their floorboards.
I was thinking, was there actually a point in time where common courtesy was to go, thank you for the drink in your own house. Here's $20. It's like, we'll just get it from the vending machine, Nancy, that we own.
Back in the farmhouse, you have to go through the rain again. In a few minutes, Grace returned to the living room bearing a tray, which had been covered with a clean white napkin. She poured the tea and served the cake, which was much poised, as though she were gracing an elegant drawing room. I never tasted more soupy cake in all my life, Nancy said warmly.
I love how we just entirely skip, like, for all this description in this book, nothing about Nancy eating it. She just stares at it intently. This is awesome. Best cake. Thrown into the flower pot.
The 3 girls chattered over their teacups and watched the rain beat against the windows. Presently, as Nancy noticed an unusual picture on the wall, she commented on its beauty. It's awful.
What is it? It's just like, huh, that is an incredible egg. Why do you have it framed? Uncle Josiah gave it to us, Allie told her. If he were only alive now, things would be different. Ooh.
The interesting story has finally got here.
Yeah.
At the mention of the name, Nancy started! Could it be that Allie referred to Josiah Crowley? It was very unlikely, she decided. Yet only the week before, her father had told her that there were 2 girls living on the river road who should have figured in the will. The relationship would be worth investigating, Nancy told herself, assuming River Road ever dries up and I can go home.
Right?
Then your uncle is dead? She inquired unsympathetically.
I love Nancy just rubbing her hands together. It's like, finally, it's time for the interrogation. So, I sense that your uncle has met an early demise. That stupid fuck. It's like, why would you start there? Yeah, Josiah Crowley wasn't really our uncle. Oh, wasn't really our uncle, Grace replied. He was our, plumber that never left because he got caught in a storm and we locked the doors because we do that. But we loved him as much as though he were a relative. Her voice broke and for a moment she could not go on. Nope, done crying. He lived next door to us. That was when Mother and Father were alive. All our misfortunes seemed to come at once. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Yeah, it was the day when the Josiah Crowley's house exploded and our parents both got tuberculosis in 5 minutes.
It's still you, by the way.
He was the dearest man you ever saw until he exploded.
Wow.
Story. Some people thought him queer, but so are we. Wink. But you never minded his peculiar ways after you knew him. He was so good and kind to us. And boy, was he a fashion freak. We were neighbors for years until the Tophams induced him to live with them. After that, everything changed. But he never liked it with the Tophams, Grace declared. They weren't kind to him. And he used to sneak off to visit us, didn't he, Allie? Yes, he often said that we seemed like his own children. Despite the fact that he was younger than us, he brought us so many nice gifts, like this blade of grass, and this tuft of hair, and this bottle of air. We loved him for himself and not his money, of which he had none. But after our parents died, he hinted that he intended to see to it that any other parents we might acquire would also come to die. I remember the very last day we ever saw him alive. He said, I plan on dying, and you guys won't get shit. In fact, I'm gonna jump off a cliff and give all of my money to the president.
You know, there's plenty of those in Masonville.
I planned a big surprise for you girls. You'll see it in my will. Those were his very words. The surprise is that he got us onto an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But the first question was about
Regis Philbin's so young.
The first question was about Masonville, which we never go to because of the road. And then the Tophams got everything, Grace said somewhat bitterly. It isn't that we were expecting any of the money, but it does seem unfair that the entire fortune should go to them. They never cared to snap of their fingers for Uncle Josiah. That was a phrase I just invented. And I don't believe he intended to leave his money to them.
Perhaps you were mentioned in the will they say can't be found. That I've hidden behind me because I haven't found it either.
I'm writing it as we speak. Grace and Allie exchange. Oh, sorry, that's still you.
I mean, you could have read it, but Grace and Allie exchanged significant glances and gravely nodded by shaking their head all around because they're confused again.
Still learning. That's just what we think, Allie announced.
Can't something be done about it? It seems only fair that you should have your inheritance.
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do, Grace said doubtfully. I mean, how are we going to pay for a lawyer? We're going to have to sell the chairs, of which there are none. Or the table, of which there is none. I hope you enjoy sitting on my lap on the floor.
What about the tea?
You see, although we are certain a will was made in our favor, we have no actual proof. we haven't enough money to fight the case.
The Tophams ought to do something for you girls.
I guess I'll take this opportunity. As Carson comes down the chimney as Santa Claus for Carson's choice of
Oh!
That's right. There are 3 hoes in this building, and I
God.
see all of them in front of me. You walked into that, didn't you?
I did.
So, I'm reverse Santa, so I'm going to take those chairs you don't have.
What?
What other pieces of furniture would you like me to take? I will take your jukebox / foosball table, or I will take your let's call it a backup generator that also does karaoke.
I guess we'll do the backup generator.
Oh, but it's unfortunately, if you own a karaoke machine, you get $1 million day. So guess who's winning? Not you. That's right. You'll never succeed. You're gonna have to keep going into town to sell chickens.
Well, it's a good thing Masonville's only reachable when it's sunny.
Or actually, maybe the chickens will become your boss. The Tophams, Allie laughed scornfully. They wouldn't give us a cent.
For some time, Allie and Grace Horner talked of Josiah Crowley and his queer ways. To Nancy, it was evident that this conversation is a lot more boring and quiet with no music that's been able to be played thanks to the generator going away. And that the girls had loved the old man a great deal.
You gotta hit it the right way.
Well, don't you need the jukebox or the generator to power the jukebox?
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, and there's no one here to just punch it into submission.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a man in the house.
Presently, as the rain ceased and the sun threatened to break through the clouds, Nancy arose to leave. Your story has interested me a great deal, she assured the Horner girls. It's possible my father can do something to help you. He is a lawyer, you know.
You didn't have to rub it in. We told you that he was. But also, what story? The one where our parents died? Or the one where Josiah died? Or the one where we're still poor?
Oh, the power's coming back on. We don't need the backup generator anymore.
We weren't asking for help, Grace interposed quickly. I don't know why we happened to tell you so much. It's only been 6 minutes.
Fine, I'll unplug the power again. You don't need my help, do you? I'm glad that you did, and if I can, I want to help you. If my father asks you to come to his office in River Heights, will you do it?
Why, yes, I suppose so. I guess Allie will have to carry me uphill both ways. In a blizzard that's coming. I swear, you see the cloud, but we haven't told you about everything we know concerning the will.
My father is a wonder at unearthing hidden facts.
That's because he has a metal detector. It's kind of you to tell your father about our case, Allie broke in. We'd be so grateful if something could be done. We don't want a cent that doesn't belong to us, but it does seem as though we would have received a small inheritance.
Don't build up your hopes until after I've talked with my father, Nancy advised them as she turned toward the door. If anything can be done, I promise I'll let you know. Last chance for me to turn your power back on.
Nah, we don't need it today. We're still eating our celery.
Fair enough, and I've confirmed that's the end of the chapter.
Goodness.
So, tune in next time for Chapter 5. Nancy, it looks like she's leaving, so I guess the storm is gone.